Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in taking Strahd seriously. We weren't able to do this last week because our DM was out of town doing an awesome thing instead of this, but this week, we're back! So, that's very good. I am excited, and I am looking forward to tonight's adventure. We just leveled up to 4, and I would also like to say, today is May 21st, 2019, and you are loved. And that's always a very important thing to remember here on Indoor Adventures, because we appreciate you guys for helping make such an incredible community possible. And if you would like to be part of that community, this very loving, accepting, open community, you can join our Discord by following the link below. You can either come here 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and coming up this week, also Thursdays, 4 nights a week to just kind of hang out and listen to some good gamery with some great people. And if you do enjoy more things about the show than just our performances, and say you wanted to sport an article of clothing by chance, well, let me tell you about the deals we got in store. I always have to talk a lot louder because my mic is over there. But we have our bigger battler mugs. We got sweatshirts. We got t-shirts. We got crop tops. We got tank tops. Soon, maybe, if I figure it out, we'll have sweatpants, because I still feel we do. We also have the Mugshot series collection, which we can add characters now from our Curse of Strahd games to. So, imagine that. And eventually, I'm going to try and figure out how we can get official Indoor Adventures butt pants, because I really feel like those are important to have to just be comfy in while you watch the show. So, speaking of watching the show and doing all sorts of fun things, it's time that we get to it. So, RJ, who are you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ and I'm playing Speedy, the Human Ranger.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
We didn't change things, right?
No, it'll be your turn. And we'll have Graybeard, we'll have either Graybeard go last and then lead into Danae, or, actually, yeah, we'll just have that.
Okay, I'm LBHackEmUp and I'm playing Silme.
Hello, I am the Indoor Adventurer, and I will not be your Dungeon Master. Instead, I will be playing as Kefris. And then GB, who are you playing? Or Danae, if you don't want him to say just yet, you can totally have the space.
I'll jump in because we're about to introduce him anyway. I'm Danae. I'm going to be your Dungeon Master for tonight. And I'm just going to jump right into the recap. Last time, our group met a hunter outside of Vallaki named Laszlo Malinkov. Unfortunately, the man had recently turned into a werewolf and attacked Bartholomew as wolves descended on the party. Irina was charmed by a mysterious figure in the woods, who she later reported to be Strahd von Zarovich. The group narrowly escaped certain death with the help of a band of hunters from Vallaki, including Bartholomew's father. Now supposedly safe within the walls, the group learned that the bones of St. Andrell's Church, the source of its protection from evil, have gone missing. With some bribery, sleuthing, and interrogation, they have tracked their location to the coffin-maker shop and are on their way there under the light of a waning coin moon. However, the Malrezkas are not the only outsiders in Barovia tonight, and they are not the only people in this story. We're going to jump back in time a few hours and join another adventurer somewhere north of Vallaki, a man named Stetson von Antiel. He is making his way south along a river through the Svalich woods. Graybeard, would you please describe your character? Graybeard, you're muted.
Yeah, can't see me at all, but I've got the witch hunter hat, cloak, armor, the whole bit. I'll put a light on, a better light in a minute. But Stetson von Antiel is a blood hunter knowledge cleric, and he should I tell my backstory a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Any amount that you think that is important for the rest of your players to know to get an idea of his whole vibe.
Okay. His village was on the edge of Barovia, and they were slaughtered man, woman, and child. Only Stetson survived. And he was found by a man named Van Richten, who took him in and made him his monster hunting apprentice. Van Richten is totally obsessed with finding and killing Strahd. And Stetson is totally obsessed with finding and killing Rehden, because he's the slaughtered his village. Stetson is a haunted one. You can see it in his eyes that the spirits dwell around him. He's a little wacky.
That is I'd say that's kind of an understatement. I want to talk a little bit about spirits really quick.
Oh, okay.
When a person dies, their soul would normally start to deteriorate. Their personality would kind of get scrubbed away, and then eventually that soul would be reincarnated into someone else. But every once in a while, something will go wrong, and a soul will get caught up on like one particular emotional event, oftentimes that being their own death. And that's when they become a ghost, and they stick around, and they don't go on to that reincarnation cycle like they're supposed to. And Stetson, you are very familiar with this process, because you have a lot of spirits attached to you right now. And having entered Barovia, pursuing your mentor, you got hit by a wave of new spirits and ghosts and dead people that you had never experienced before. And one in particular has attached itself to you. So you have been able to speak with spirits in the past. Sometimes they are able to communicate with you in a vocal sense, but this one seems to only be able to communicate with you in a musical sense. There's a soft song on the wind every now and then, and you feel a strange kinship with this spirit. Now, before you entered Vallaki, you had done your research, run around, and gotten as much information as you could. All of the maps are from before the mists rose, so they're all out of date. But you have heard from Vistani that Vallaki still exists, and so you are trying to find your way to the one human settlement you know still exists in Barovia. And so you're following this river down upstream? Probably downstream. Yeah, it's a valley. So you're following a river downstream towards a lake that you know that is going to be north of Vallaki. And we've gone back a little bit in time. It's nighttime for everybody else when we left off, but we are back a little bit before sunset. And as Stetson makes his way through the Svalich woods, the animals around you tend to go quiet. They're very unsettled by your presence and just kind of the aura of death that follows you everywhere you go. And when you finally find your way to Lake Zarovich, you get this feeling of dread, as though the spirits are trying to guide you towards something, as though there's some sort of danger.
Okay. I draw forth my my silvered rapier and hold it aloft and sort of start cautiously stepping.
All right. You make your way towards the lake, and it spreads out before you like a mirror. You can see the trees reflected in the water, and it's just like glass, completely still, except for one image of a boat out in the middle of the lake, and a hunched man with a fishing pole in his hand. And you feel the spirits grow restless, as soon as you lay eyes on him. Just danger, danger, danger. There's a child. A child is in danger. And as you watch, this man lifts a sack, which you can see is squirming and moving around as though there's something inside it, and he just drops it into the water.
Oh. And I assume he's too far out for crossbow range.
I mean, I think that he's certainly within crossbow range, actually.
All right, then I will let him have it.
All right, roll for it.
Ugh. Nope. About a 10.
Okay, actually, that might be enough. He's not very tough. Yeah.
Actually, in a +5 in 11.
Oh, an 11. Yep, that'll definitely hit him. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Six points of damage.
Oh, okay. So this dead-eyed, lumbering hulk of a man lifts the sack, and he's getting ready to dump it over the edge of the boat. And a crossbow bolt just sprouts from his neck, and he slumps where he stands. But that squirming, wiggling sack falls into the water.
Okay. I say to the spirits, sort of absent-mindedly, I'm not that strong a swimmer, and I drop what gear I can and take to the water.
All right. Roll me an athletics check to swim after this sack.
Okay. Come on, sack. Oh no, a 9.
A 9. All right. So you swim out to where the boat is. You can see the man is slumped, and there's no life in his eyes. He's dead. And there are bubbles rising from right next to the boat. You take a deep breath and you dive, and you just keep on swimming down into the murk. You can see the sack is beginning to disappear. And we're going to fade to black and come back to you in a few moments. I'd say meanwhile, but it's not meanwhile. It's several hours later. The waning moon is high in the sky, and Kefris, Silme, and Speedy are making their way across town. People tend not to like to be out this late at night. It's dark, and terrible things happen in Barovia in the dark. But you all are insistent on seeing the coffin-maker tonight? Question mark? DM says? Okay, all right. Awesome. So who will lead the way to the coffin-maker shop? I suppose Speedy is the one who knows where it is.
Yeah, he's pulled out a torch. Click, click. It's up. It's bright.
Okay. You guys don't see many other people on the streets tonight, except for maybe a guard here and there. And they kind of give you a side eye. They look at you suspiciously as you pass them by. And in order to get to the coffin maker's house, you need to go through the stockyard, which is just a large courtyard where shipments are kept until they can be delivered to their businesses and such. And as you enter this courtyard, you see a wagon, and it's got brightly colored decorations on it. It looks like something out of a circus, and it says on its side, something. Sorry. I'm doing a lot of jumping around here, so I need to... it says on its side, "The Wonders of Rictavio's Circus." And as you all pass by it, there is a sudden loud noise that comes from inside, like some sort of terrible beast, and the whole thing just sort of jumps and shudders, and then goes still.
The house?
It's a
It's
cart.
a wagon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. Sorry, I was having flashbacks.
Not again.
No.
Speedy? What? Is that a
It
normal
doesn't look
thing?
like a Vistani wagon.
There are other wagons here?
It could be an outsider's wagon, just like yours.
That's fair.
Should we knock?
Don't you all have something to do? Something about the bones of a saint that's gone missing?
Because otherwise Maria is going to maybe have a visitor tonight.
Yes.
Silme
an
just rolls her eyes and starts tromping up to this cart. Excuse me.
You know, there's an expression here in Vallaki. It's "let sleeping wolves lie."
And as soon as he says that, you hear another snarl from inside, and the whole thing jumps.
Okay, I'll just go up
Can
to
I
my
see-
sister and just, okay, maybe let's not, look, Speedy was telling us the other day about how they're, like, the werewolves or whatever that are here. If that's
And
one
they
of
were
them
keeping it-
inside, there's either a good reason why they're in there.
And Speedy, while the two of them are talking, you can see out of the corner of your eye, there are two boys just kind of standing close together and like pointing and talking to each other at what just happened with the cart.
He walks over, takes a knee. Do you know
Oh,
who's...
they're not that small. They are like,
they're
yeah, they're
Takes a knee
They are
anyways.
takes a knee. No, he like just walks up to him.
they actually are probably taller than you. They're kind of lanky. You recognize this as Nikolai and Klaus Wachter.
Oh,
And they're kind of like the village burnouts. They're rich and bored is what they are.
Brothers Wachter, what's up with the cart?
Oh yeah, I was just going to ask you the same thing.
Bye. I don't know. It's new to me.
What do you think is inside it?
Could be a werewolf, could be a regular wolf. I don't plan on tempting fate tonight.
They kind of like start shoving each other like oh, it's a werewolf. Oh yeah.
Don't go sneaking around that cart.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it.
Speedy like puts two fingers up to his eyes, points at the two of them, walks back to the Melrescas.
Like they both give you like the who me kind of look.
I'm just saying, if it's a dog in there, somebody shouldn't keep it in the cart. It could get too hot.
It's freezing here.
I am. You know, you're not. I'm.
Okay, okay, how about this? If it was a dog, it would have to be a dog much larger than that beast that Speedy has in order to shake this thing. Is it like a dire creature that's in there?
I don't.
I've heard
you
they're
know,
like
I
wolves,
don't
but
care.
more dire.
I feel like we've gotten off track here. All right, let's go to the place we're supposed to be to find the bones.
The bones. The bones,
Yes,
the bones,
I feel
the
like
bones.
we've all gotten off track here. And I don't appreciate that we've, veered off so much from our present course. She she turns.
Whatever you say, Slime. Just continues after.
Shut up, Doc.
Not a doctor.
And as Speedy leads you out of the stockyard away from the wagon, I think that the camera, as it were, will settle on the wagon, and it will start to shake and rumble again. And we will cut back to Stetson. And I'm saying that right, correct?
Yep.
Stetson von Antil.
Yep, correct.
All right. Stetson, you have a very close relationship to the dead, you might say. This hurts. Your lungs are burning and you absolutely need to breathe. And you are able to grasp the bag and start heading back to the shore. But it's too much. Just before you get to the surface, your mouth opens involuntarily and takes in a big lungful of water. And you break the surface, and coughing and spluttering, you make your way back to the shore, but you're going to take some damage. Ow. You're very lucky I rolled double ones on this. You take 2 damage. My brand new red Curse of Strahd dice have been very kind to you. This is the first time I'm playing with these tonight, guys. I'm so excited. All right. So you make your way back to the shore, and you cough and splutter. And that bag is no longer wriggling.
Okay. All right. I slice it open as quickly as possible.
All right. It's a girl, no older than 7 years old. And she seems unconscious, but having been brought out of the water, she soon begins to cough and splutter, and she rolls over and coughs all of the water out of her lungs and takes a few deep breaths, and then she falls unconscious again. Just like the whole stress of the situation has been too much for her. And you are left soaked on the lake shore with this girl. You do know, however, that there is a settlement just south of here. You should be able to get there before dark.
Okay. I will immediately roll down my sleeve, and it's off camera, but I'm looking at my arm, and then I switch and I look somewhere else on my body, and then I maybe touch a couple holy symbols, and then I become proficient in medicine.
Amazing.
And I will like to make a medicine check to help you, said girl.
Okay.
Oh, woo, 19 plus 4, so 21, 22. But I can't add something, 20 something.
I mean, it's something over 19, so I think it's going to be fine. You are able to tell that she's going to live, but she has been through quite a shock. And the best thing for her right now is going to be sleep. You should probably find a safe place for her to rest.
Right. And I shout at not shout, but hiss at some of the spirits. She'll not take her yet. Back off. We'll save her. And I pick her up, and I start to run as best I can towards the village.
All right. So you take up the girl in your arms and go sprinting off towards the village. And we are going to cut back to Group A. The Malrezkas. I don't know. Have you guys come up with a name for yourselves?
We're not an adventuring party.
We're the Malrezkas. That's name enough.
Yeah.
And it's
Plus
so
Speedy.
hard for me to not say, last time on Curse of Strahd, with my recap, it's like the adventuring party. It's like, no, they're not. They're not an adventuring party. I have to be so specific. Anyway.
This group of lovable miscreant. No, that's still not them.
Oh, these poor sods.
Yeah, right.
That's pretty spot on. That one's good.
We are on our way to the coffin-maker.
Yes. Meanwhile, with the sods, so Speedy, you start walking off to lead the Malrezkas as they continue to bicker behind you, and you turn a corner and you run into a barrel of a chest, and kind of bounce off of it, and like kind of rubbing your nose and looking up at this figure. It is a large, like he's like a full head and a half taller than you are. He's got a bald head and this mangled looking arm, and he's got like a bundle under his arm, and he says, "Bartholomew,
Isaac.
you've been gone for so long, I thought maybe you'd be dead. Serves me right for getting my hopes up."
I'd rather be dead than talking to you right now.
He will sneer at you, and be like, "I thought that hunters were afraid of the dark. What are you doing out so late?"
I'm taking a moonlit stroll with my companions here.
And he will glance up at the Malrezkas. "Outsiders, I shall see that Baron Vargas Valakovich knows of their presence." And he will shoulder check you, to the point where, like, this is basically a shove attack. If you don't oppose it, you're gonna fall on your butt.
Yeah, here we go. Athletics?
Athletics or acrobatics? Question mark? I'm looking at Steven here.
The shove attack is just against AC.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
At least
Okay,
that's what
well,
I
he
thought.
rolled a 19 on the die, so
I've got a 14, so...
all right. Speedy's on the ground. This just beast of a man, just like with one shoulder, and Bartholomew hits the ground and actually kind of like knocks his head against a wall a little bit, and all of the buildings here are made out of stone, so that like definitely seeing stars. And
Beg your pardon, sir.
and he will ignore you and just keep on walking down this dark alleyway. And he drops something on his way out.
You see Bartholomew stagger up and pull out his hand crossbow and point it in the direction. I could do it. No one would know. I could do it.
We would know. We're right here, dude.
Do you want me to throw an ice dagger at him?
Oh, yeah, sure. You can throw an ice dagger at the captain of the guard.
Oh,
So you know that whole, hey, witchcraft, you'll be killed?
well, I'm just saying that perhaps no one would know.
Speedy just walks over and picks up what Isaac dropped.
It's a doll. And you can't really see it very well in the light. You hold up your torch and look at it. It's got long auburn hair. It reminds you a little bit of Irina, actually.
Speedy just pulls a face, pockets the doll.
Also, I should probably mention this. It has a tag on its leg that says, "He's no fun. He's no Blinsky."
Fucking hell. Sorry. Bartholomew just like rubs the side of his head.
What is
Are
the...
you all right?
What was the deal with that guy? He was really rude.
So do you remember a few episodes back when I was talking about the captain of the guard and his father running the place through fear and violence? I mean, hours ago.
Yes.
Our adventures have seemed rather episodic, but yes, I do remember that.
Growing up, Isaac was a very violent child.
Are you two related? Is this, like,
No.
cousin? Seem to have a lot of family around here, so just want to make sure.
We're
This
all
isn't
sort of
like-
family here in Barovia. You tend to get to know people, and it's a very small place. Anyway, when I was younger, I used to play with his sister, and he didn't take too kindly to that. So one day, he came at me with a rock, nearly beat me to death, and he lifts up his headband, and you see like a jagged scar going across his forehead, and he left me for dead.
What a terrible
And
person!
he, like, everyone was just okay with that? Like,
The burgomaster adopted him as his son, so
And now he gets to do as much damage as he'd like because he's the captain of the guard, and that's fine.
this is good. I hate this
But perhaps someone needs to knock him off his high horse.
Would that they were all as kind as Ismark was. He was a real stand-up fella.
Is
Is. I said I was meaning was, as we just haven't seen him
Anyway.
in a while.
we've got a coffin-maker to shake down for some bones.
Yes.
right.
Is it like, does he work and live in the same shop? Does he have two different locations?
DM, I think he works and lives in the same place.
He lives there.
Yeah, he lives
You
there.
probably know this. I imagine you've had to bury a few people.
Let's go.
All right. Sure. Lead the way. And so we
Meanwhile.
Meanwhile,
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
Stetson, you have been stopped at the gates by a couple of baffled guards who are trying to figure out exactly what you want to do here in Vallaki.
Okay. Like physically stopped me?
Well, the gates are not opened, so yes.
Okay. You fools! I'm trying to save this girl's life. Move! And I start kicking at the door.
Okay, roll me a perception or a persuasion check. Sorry, I get my perceptions and persuasions mixed up.
Ooh. Ugh. With my minus charisma, this will be bad. Oh yeah. Let's go for 4.
4. Wow. Great. Okay. So meanwhile, back with the other no. They are bulking. They're trying like they are really put off by the fact that you keep on kicking the gate. And like one actually gets out his spear and pokes you away with the blunt end of it. And someone approaches from behind, and you hear a soft voice say, "Oh, you should probably let that fellow in. He has a child with him. It seems that she isn't looking so good." And like the guards seem to notice for the first time the child in your arms, and they will open the gate for you. And as you enter, you see that the person that has vouched for you is this half-elf who's wearing like a really bright red coat, and he's got like little spectacles on, and he just kind of has like a tired, long-suffering kind of smile. But he looks like he's in a circus or something. He's got a tired-looking horse that's following him around, and he just like takes an apple out of his basket and feeds it to the horse, and then pats it. And he will look down at the girl and say, "There is a tavern not too far from here. It's called the Blue Water Inn. They're good people there. You might want to head that direction."
I thank you. And I look at one of the guards and I tip my hat up and I look like over my glasses at him so he can like really see into my eyes, and I make that eye contact thing, and it's like all the spirits of the dead just like reach out for him, like asshole. I don't say anything, but I give him the haunted one look.
Oh yeah, and that guy definitely gets like a chill down his spine.
And then I move as quickly as I can, and I keep just kind of half bowing and saying thank you to the half elf.
And the half elf guy seems amicable. He seems nice, but he doesn't seem to want to stick around you for too long. He will point you in the direction of the tavern, and then he says, sorry, I have to go take Drusilla for a walk. She needs to move her old bones, don't you see? And he pats the horse again, and he will lead her away.
If the girl lives, it will be for you. Thank you.
He just smiles and nods to you. But as he... Roll me a perception check.
Oh my god, these dice are horrible. Okay, at least I have a bonus there, I believe. All right, with my plus 5. Clearly.
5 total?
5 total, yes.
Amazing. All right, so Stetson does not see this, but we as the audience will see it. As he turns away, his smile drops, and this man just has a really sad look on his face as he walks away. And you are able to take this girl into the Blue Water Inn, and you like I imagine you stumble in. You're like soaked from head to foot, and like the woman behind the counter seemed like is about to like go into the customer service spiel, and then she realizes the direness of the situation, and she will rush over to you and help to get the girl into a bed. And
okay. Well, I'm not really heading to put her on the bar or the closest table or whatever, but okay.
No, like she takes you into the back room and she puts you in like in one of her family's beds, or like the I said I puts her in one of her family's beds. Okay. And it's like it's one of the good ones, and like she peppers you with questions like, where did she come from, what happened, what's going on here.
The old man was drowning her in a bag, and well, he's no longer with us, but
the old man, what sort of man? Was he in a boat?
He was in a boat, yes.
Oh my god, Bluto. Oh, that fucker. Okay, she looks like she's going to be okay. I don't know what would have happened. I mean, I think I can imagine what would have happened, but this girl owes you her life.
I've been there before, and I would hate to have her join with the others. Yes, you. Find it.
Speaking of them, there is one that has become very insistent, and has started nagging at you, like almost like a physical prodding in the ribs, and it's one of the newer ones. It's the musical one, and it wants you to go somewhere. It's leading you to a different place. It's expressing danger again.
The girl will be okay? I ask the innkeep.
Yes, I'll take care of her. Why do you ask? Where are you going?
I do not know. Where there is danger, someone is in trouble. Here, and I just hand her a handful of coins, kind of. If she doesn't put her hands out, they hit the floor.
Yeah, well, she fumbles with it for a second, and she's like, "Wait, you don't have to pay." And I imagine you're already running out the door. Yeah. All right, and you will rush out the door, and we will get back with our poor sods.
Cool.
You find yourselves standing outside of a 2-story building. All of the windows have like the kind of like crisscrossing iron. It's not bars, but it's like what's it called when it's like the crisscrossing iron, like almost chain link stuff. A lattice, thank you. With the glass in between. Sometimes words fail me. Often words fail me. And you are standing outside of this building in the dead of night. And this is the coffin-maker shop. So what do you do?
Do you know this man?
Somewhat.
Is like you know him like you knew Ezek, or you know him like not you said you weren't family, but like better than Ezek at least.
Speedy, roll me just a charisma save, just in general, to see how well acquainted you are with this fellow.
1.
Great. Yeah, he's the coffin maker. You forget his name.
I don't really know him. I've asked him to help me bury some friends.
All right. Silme starts marching up to the door. And she's just gonna... Excuse me!
Oh,
Excuse me!
we don't do that here.
Oh, Rocco is me. I'm sorry.
And
A dog starts barking.
Ah.
you see Speedy just sort of kindly push Silme back, raises his foot and kicks the door.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, it is locked, so athletics check of some sort?
18.
What do you mean you don't knock here?
Not
Holy
in this
carp.
situation.
Okay, so she's knocking on the door, and it takes a moment, but you can hear a man inside start to answer, and he's like, "We're closed. We're closed. Go away!" The door busts down, and Speedy, you find yourself standing in a workshop. There's wood shavings and sawdust everywhere, and there is a bearded man who is sitting at his work desk, and he has genuine fear in his eyes as you break into his home.
Speedy has his hands in his pockets as he strides in, sort of mobster-ish.
Jeez. Okay.
Time to shake down this old man. You didn't pay your protection, but no, I'm sorry.
What did I miss?
He kicked he threw you back, and then he kicked in the goddamn door.
I didn't throw her back. I kindly scooted her away before kicking the door in.
All right, well, hello?
Did you kick it off its hinges, or did it just swing open very violently?
I would
Not off
I
the
would
hinge.
say that he busted the whole door down, but this is a carpenter, so I imagine his house would be well enough made that it wouldn't do that. So yeah, it just swings open violently. You bust the lock out of its hinge, or out of its wherever the lock goes into. You know this?
All right, get inside. Get inside. Get inside. And
Excuse
then
us, hello?
we're gonna close the door behind us, so that way it's not just open for what we are possibly about to do.
Sorry for the intrusion.
This is a scared-looking old man with a gray beard. He's wearing an apron. He's just kind of scrambling backwards in his chair, just "Oh, what are you doing here?"
Speedy, look, you just kicked in the door of an old man in an apron. How do you feel about yourself right now?
Where are the bones?
Okay. He is very to the point.
Good cut, bad cop.
And then confused ass Kefir's cop. I thought I knew what I was doing an hour ago, but not anymore.
Roll me an intimidation check, Speedy.
At advantage for kicking his door in?
Sure. This is a very scared man.
Well, they're both the same, 13.
13. Okay. Well, it wasn't going to be that hard. He's a very frightened man to begin with. And he's just, "They made me do it. I didn't have any choice."
Where are they?
Bones. Not the people who made you did it.
His mouth kind of opens and closes, just gapes like a fish on land, and he points upwards. He's like, it's up in the bedroom. There's a secret compartment in the wardrobe.
Then why don't you come with us and you can show us where that is?
He just shakes his head violently.
What's the matter? Who's up there?
He seems very frightened of whatever may be up there.
Oh, if there's something or someone that's trying to hurt you, then we can help, please.
He lowers his head and looks up at you and says, "Listen, I'm in a bad place here. Just take the bones and leave."
Are you sure that's what you want?
He nods. "But you'll have to be quiet."
I feel like we've already made quite a noise, but if that's what you want, Speedy.
Why can't you at least lead us up there? Open the door for us.
"I won't go up the stairs. You can't make me."
There is something up there that is terrifying this man, Kefris.
And I want to know what it is.
Yes, but this old man, who can't even make it up the stairs, will not be the one to tell us.
Can't or won't?
Both.
Speedy rolls his eyes and starts like creeping up the stairs.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Pull
Speedy,
out
I
my
need a stealth
maul.
check.
Kefris, now don't go crazy, okay?
He just looks at you and says, "I'm trying not to."
I just have to check my equipment real quick.
22.
Ooh, that's real good. All right, Speedy, you sneak your way up the stairs, and you can, whenever you put your foot down on a creaky stair, you're able to detect that almost immediately, and then move your foot to a different place where it will not make a noise, and you silently make your way up the stairs. You find yourself in what appears to be some sort of storeroom. There's a bunch of boxes, crates, just sort of lined up against the walls. They're all marked with the words junk. And you will look around and notice that there is a side room off from this storeroom. And that must be the bedroom that he was talking about.
He'll walk up to the door and slowly like push it open and peek in.
Okay. It is an empty room, aside from a bed and a wardrobe.
I look up.
What? RPG players never do that.
Surprise, bitches! Wild card!
It's Strahd! No,
Close the door quickly. Bones aren't there, let's go home.
There is a very nicely carpentered ceiling.
Pushes the door open more and steps in, looking for the secret wall safe
Okay.
thing.
He said that there was a secret compartment in the wardrobe.
I'll wait for the Malariskas.
Okay.
We are squabbling as we go up the stairs, I take it?
As we were going up the stairs,
You are muted.
I'm not muted.
I am, because it gives me a notification, so our Twitch viewers know I'm muted as well. I would, as soon as we got to the steps, just, all right, we can talk about this later. Let's just quiet.
Just don't go crazy again, okay?
What is that supposed to mean?
Remember when you black out?
I don't control those
Can't really remember when you black out.
Just saying. Don't do that. This is a nice old man.
I need the two of you to roll stealth checks.
How dare you? I want to whisper my roll because I'm really into the stealth thing. 14.
5.
Total?
Yes.
Okay. Silme, you think that you're whispering, but not quite.
Well, you're being a jackass.
And with that, all of you hear a crunching sound, as though somebody just put their fist through something made of wood, and a scattering noise as though pebbles are falling on the ground.
Speedy, is that you? Go into the room. Speedy, where
And
are you?
downstairs, you can hear the old man sort of making like whimpering and groaning noises to himself, and he says, "I tried to warn you. I tried." And against the moonlight coming in through the latticed windows, Kefris and Silme can see a humanoid shape rising, and hear the sound of earth scattering on the ground. And a creature will turn and look at you, and you can see glowing eyes in the darkness.
Is this like a very familiar figure in the hallway?
It's fairly familiar.
Okay, but not like the one that we saw in the woods that is now also here. This is a different, like...
It's a different... I mean, you remember seeing these eyes from the ceiling of a cellar just before something dropped on you and everything went dark.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, ray of sickness.
Meanwhile, outside, a man... I think Stetson probably wears a duster. Yeah, that seems right to me. So a man in a duster is sprinting down the cobbled streets, and like every now and then his head turns in different directions as he tries to attune himself to the spirits to listen to where they are telling him to go, and you come to an intersection and the spirits go quiet, but you can hear a song coming from a particular direction, and you know that's the direction you need to go.
You keep leading, I'll keep following.
All right, and everybody should roll initiative.
Oh, boy.
Okay, Speedy?
Putting the speed in Speedy with the natural 20, bringing it up to 26.
Nice.
Fuck you.
All right, Kefris.
I got a 10.
Okay, Silme.
Muted. She's muted.
Good, because I said it with stuff in my throat, so it didn't sound very good. It's a 16.
Okay. Ooh, Silme, that's the best initiative you had in a while. All right, and Stetson.
With my +3, 6. These dice need a lesson. They've got problems.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
All right, well, let me just sort this out. Sure
you for
enough,
the
there we
bits,
go.
JD.
All right, so
Thank
Speedy,
you, JD.
you are waiting for the Malrezkas to make their way up, and you hear a series of noises. The first of which being the Malrezkas bickering, the second of which being some sort of commotion from the storeroom, and the third of which being the old man downstairs groaning about something happening. And you have a pretty bad feeling about this.
Immediately going to the wardrobe and just tearing it open to find the bones.
All right, you throw it open, and it's got some moth-eaten jackets and things in there, but you remember that he told you that there was a secret compartment in there somewhere.
Can I use my full turn to look for it?
Sure. Give me an investigation check. With advantage because you've been told that it's there.
Also, I checked on the shove ruling from earlier. It is contested.
Yeah. I was
Ha-ha!
gonna say, and you can use either just like a grapple.
All right. If anybody knows the answers to these kinds of questions, feel free to speak up because, boy howdy, I don't know all of the answers.
With a -1, that's a 12.
Great. All right. You will, like, I imagine you take your crossbow and, like, kind of beat on the walls with the handle until you find a hollow place. And then you pry it up and you find a couple of sacks, 2 of them.
Grabs both.
All right. One jingles as though it's full of coin, and the other one rattles as though it's full of bones.
Can I pocket the jingling one?
Mm-hmm.
Tear open the rattling one.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna drop my crossbow.
Mm-hmm.
What, does it look like bones, or is it like like tied up with something, or is it just like a bone bag?
I mean, it's a bag with bones in it.
Redacted. I'm going to pocket the bag of bones, and then I have just the crossbow, and I go, fuck.
I mean, it occurs to me, I probably could have looked this up before, but I know what you're thinking of, and I want to double check to see if you're right. But yes, what else do you want to do on your turn?
Flips, turns to the doorway, and just prepares.
Okay, yeah, it is just a bag of bones.
Sick.
Really old-looking bones, but bones nonetheless. So are you going to head back out? Use your movement to leave the room?
Well, did the clattering come from the storage area, or did it come from like...
It came from the storage area where you saw all of those boxes and things. I will give you guys a better idea of the layout here. There is the stairs come up, and then to the right there's a storeroom.
Okay.
And if you just continue from where the stairs are, you'll go into a hallway and turn right, and there's the bedroom.
Okay.
So you kind of have to enter the storeroom area in order to access the stairs, but, like, you know, there's more storeroom.
Because I kind of want to get into a position that just makes it into a kill zone, basically. Like,
I see. You could come up around the corner where the hallway is, and you still have, like, a direct line to the stairs. And like when you come out into the hallway, you can see the Malrezkas just, like, at the stairway. And Malrezkas, you saw this silhouette through the bars of the safety rail on the stairs. So you're like, which one was going first?
Elder
Malrezka.
Malrezka.
So Kefris, you're at the top of the stairs, and Silme, you're like a little bit ways down the stairs and just kind of peeking through the bars of the safety rail. Anything else on your turn, Speedy?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. So this silhouette has a pair of glowing eyes and just a ratty nest of hair, just kind of like a mane that silhouettes its head, and like dirt and muck are kind of falling off of its body in different areas, and it will turn its head to look at Kefris, who is kind of the most accessible person at this point, and you will see fangs glint in the moonlight, and it's going to hiss and lunge at you.
Good. It's fine.
It's fine. All right. How is a 23?
Yeah, that'll hit.
It will grapple you instead of attacking.
Oh, goody.
And then those fangs will glint in the moonlight again. Oof. Curse of Strahd dice. You really want these folks dead, huh?
What's that
How's it,
supposed to
24?
mean? Yeah, that'll hit. 24 is higher than the last hit.
All right, Kefris, you feel a pain in your neck, and you hear very close to your ear the sound of gulping. And you're going to take some damage.
Fucker.
8 piercing damage, and 6 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And your hit point maximum is reduced by 6.
I see. That's not good. Okay.
Man, you know what?
Freak out now.
You know what I've been nice? Like a long rest for me to recharge my healing spells.
I'm sure it's fine. It's fine.
We will have a discussion later. So as that happens, there is the more sounds of breaking crates, and a crate on the far side of the room. The side of it will just bust out, and you see a mound of dirt roll out onto the floor, and another figure rolls with it, and rolls to its feet and turns and looks at the rest of you. Now it's Silme's turn.
No, I don't like this. I am going to cast Ray of Sickness at 2nd level, because fuck that thing. And it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, which one are you attacking?
The one that has my brother.
I mean, I figured, but I should still ask.
So
Constitution
Kefris,
saving throw?
yes, this is the first time you've ever actually seen me like really cast magic. So you kind of, go ahead. What did he make it? It's a 13.
A 12.
Ooh. Okay, cool. So you see Silme, she starts like speaking in tongues, and she like waves her hand around in front of her, and a green ball starts forming, and she does a movement, and it like shoots in this kind of like windy way, and like goes right down up the nose of the creature, and the creature just starts vomiting.
Oh shit.
Oh, it's on me! What the fuck?
Into the wound?
Sorry. So,
Well, I mean, I imagine it has its fangs buried in Kefris's neck, and then that magic goes up its nose and it throws its head back, and then it vomits off to the side.
Blood
so
vomit.
that's 12 damage, and it
What
is
kind?
Poison damage,
Ooh, okay.
and it also is poisoned until the end of my next turn.
All
So
right,
it
so
has-
that means that it poisoned means that it has disadvantage on attacks, and is that it? And ability checks, right?
I don't know.
Who wants to fact check that for me?
It has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
There
Thank
it
you,
is.
D&D Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I actually kind of knew that. All right, until the end of Silme's next turn.
Yeah. And you kind of like see her do this move, and she's like really proud of herself, and then she looks at you and she's oh.
Okay. There is the sound of more wood cracking and more dirt scattering on the floor as 2 more crates bust open. And there are now 4 creatures in the room with you. Kefris, it's your turn.
I'll do the thing that I always do, and I'll see my sister do magic for the first time, after having just been bit by this asshat. And I just kind of like my brow furrows, and then I'm just going to start taking really deep breaths, but as the deep breaths to try and calm myself continue, they become more raspy and harsher as you see me bulk out a little bit. And then I am going to take my maul and start wailing on this vampire guy who done bit me. I don't like it. Yeah, so I'll use my bonus action to rage, and then time to smash. I'll make it reckless. For... That's going to be a 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Excellent. So that is going to be for 11 points of bludgeoning damage and then 3 points of radiant damage.
Oh, he don't like that. He do not like the radiant damage.
As he shouldn't.
And so, like, it is still grappling you. So I imagine that the way that this looks actually is that you take your maul out and you just shove the handle of it into its mouth. And it's just like snarling and gnashing at you. And then it glows with that red Ilmater energy. And it recoils and hisses.
Excellent.
And
it was
it just
supposed
looks...
to be 1 more point of radiant damage.
One more?
Yeah, 1 more.
That's fine. I can do that. And this guy has been hit pretty hard a couple of times. He does not look super hurt. He's been shaken, but not
stirred.
Really hurt very bad. All right. Anything else for you, Kefris?
Nope, that was my bonus action and action, so I'm just kind of chilling.
Is it a move action to try and... No, it's an actual action to try and break a grapple. Okay. I'm going to write down that you're actually grappled. That's kind of important. Oh, also another thing. I'm supposed to get advantage on attacks against you when you're grappled. I still hit you anyway last time, but I need to remember that for next time.
Well, you'll have advantage anyway, because I was reckless in my attack.
That's fair. Okay. Stetson, you can hear the telltale signs of vampires coming from that building. And there are people... What? Vampires? And you can hear like the sounds of commotion. There's people in there who are being attacked. And it seems to be coming from the second floor. And I imagine you just burst into the room and you see that old man kind of cowering on the floor. And he points up the stairs and you just go.
I don't even say anything. I'll rush up. Can I get in amongst them?
I think that you kind of have to shove past Silme in order to get all the way up the stairs, but yes.
All right. Yeah, I will, because technically we're allies, so I can squeeze past her without
Yep.
any...
Who are you?
As he comes by, he says, "Oh, dear pardon," and he tips his hat as he like rolls past. Does like a basketball a pick. He kind of rolls past, and then he rushes into the room. He doesn't have a weapon out, but he tries to get... Can he get within 5 feet of 2 or more of them?
I'm going to say yes, but you would provoke an attack of opportunity from the one that's at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Unless you want to roll some sort of check to kind of like jump over the banister, which would be super cool.
All right, I'll do it. That sounds amazing.
I mean, you've also been rolling really terribly tonight.
Yes,
so.
I don't. That's good. We can do this. Let's do it. All right, skills. All right, acrobatics, right?
Yeah, it sounds like an acrobatics to me.
Okay. Sweet. 13 plus 3, 16.
Excellent. That perfectly works. Okay, I imagine that you start heading up the stairs and you see Silme is in the way, and you do that, "Oh, excuse me," and then you plant your boot on the wall and you just kind of push off and go flying over the banister and land in the midst of these vampires.
Duster fluttering.
Yeah, exactly. And there's dirt scattering the floor, so that all goes and all of the vampires turn to look at you like
And at that, I drop to a knee and I pulled my hand down like this, and I will say, "Mortis Lux," and radiant light bursts out from me as I use the word of radiance. So they all need to make a Constitution save or take damage, radiant damage.
Okay. What and what is the radius of this attack?
5 feet.
5 feet? Okay. Okay. All right. Yes. I'll say that you were able to land within range of 3 of them. That seems reasonable to me.
And con save, but unfortunately, it's only a 12.
Con saves. All right. Well, one got a 3 on the die, so that's pretty terrible. Another got a 13 on the die, so that's pretty terrible. And the other one got it's gonna be an 11. So you get 2 of them.
Woo! All right. And they take 3 points of damage apiece. But it is radiant, and if they are what I think they are, they can't regenerate next round because of it.
Yep.
Awesome.
So 3 points of damage for the 2 that you got?
Yep.
Cool. And these all, like, now that Stetson is in here and he has seen the undead, you can recognize that these are all vampires from different origin. That one over there used to be a dwarf. That one over there, some sort of human. That one was an elf. These are all people who are from outside of Barovia who seem to have been turned into these things.
Do they seem like Spawn or vampires? Vampires.
Religion check.
All right.
This is a pretty dense turn for you, but I'm willing to let you have it.
All right. Sweet. Thank you. All right. 16 plus 5, 21.
Definitely Spawn.
Okay.
But there is an awful lot of them for you to handle on your own.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is you. There is the sound of more wood crunching, and 2 more will pop out. So now total there are 6 vampire spawn in the room with you. Stetson is completely surrounded. Kefris is grappled. Speedy, you're standing in the hallway. And I will say this. The rest of you recognize these as the same thing that you fought in the church cellar. And it took all 3 of you to take one of them down. There are 6 here. Speedy, it is your turn.
He turns to them, pulling out a torch from his belt, and then flicking with a flint and steel, and just goes, "Run!" And he chucks it into the middle of the room.
Okay. What are we attempting here?
I want to burn the place down.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
There's a lot of wood.
There is a lot of wood.
It's a carpenter's house.
It is a carpenter's house.
Sawdust.
Do you have something flammable in your inventory?
I have some wine.
I feel like that would actually... Wine isn't as flammable as people seem to think.
Maybe vodka? No.
Vodka, maybe. But it is canon that there's only wine in
Barovia.
Yeah.
Oh, I have that. Why do I have that? Whatever.
What do you have?
Don't worry about it.
I am worried. Always.
So if it doesn't... I kind of want to set the house on fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for input from the peanut gallery. What sort of check do you guys think this is? Maybe a survival check?
So you're just
Locate
throwing
the most
a torch?
burnable portion of the house.
If you're just it would depend on how dry the wood is and the area that you were throwing it, because it is a torch, so it needs some time to actually catch. It wouldn't be able to immediately
I
explode.
feel like you need something more flammable. This is a carpenter's house. He knows how to fireproof his wood.
If it was like hay, then it would be okay.
It would still
Yeah.
take some time, like the fire would grow, but it's not
Fine.
going to be like, Shazam! And then
down-
the entire house is on fire.
If it were downstairs around all of the sawdust, I would allow this. But we're upstairs, and this is damp.
Okay. All right, redact that action. I'm gonna try and free Kefris.
Okay. I will allow this. I don't think that this is in raw rules, but I will allow you to try and break the grapple. Just a contest against the vampire spawn.
Could I rip off my necklace and as I run past the vampire, like just shove it in his face because it has the silver arrowhead?
Yeah, let's do that.
Or shove it in its mouth and then just uppercut like glass in the mouth?
Oh, ow. That's not fun, but yes, you can do that.
Yeah. Am I using strength or dex for this?
I'm gonna. Because you described it this way, I'm willing to let you use Dex because this is a pretty precise movement.
Cool. That is 17. Yeah. 15 is still.
What even is a vampire's athletics? They don't got it. They just got a strength score. It's a 15.
I win.
All right. So the necklace goes into its mouth, and you see dark blood scatter through the air. And I'll allow you to even like rip the necklace back out, and you can see like a fang or two go flying, and it recoils. Just it's not happy about that at all. Kefris, you are no longer grappled.
Nice.
Anything else on your turn, Speedy?
Shoving Kefris down the stairs. Go, go, go.
Oh, all right. So that vampire just got attacked. Did not like that at all. It's gonna go for Speedy. A 15.
Just hits.
All right. It will claw you. It's just sort of lashing out instinctively to whatever hurt it. That's going to be 10 slashing damage.
Ooh.
And then it's going to use its second attack to attack you again.
Wait, is this the one that was on Kefris?
Yes.
It has disadvantage on attacks. Because
Oh, that's right, because it's
No,
poisoned.
it's just straight, yeah.
All right. Well, that other attack would have been... Actually, let's just roll for disadvantage. 15 on the die, it still would have hit. But here's the second attack incoming. At disadvantage. All right, that does not hit.
It might. What did it roll?
Well,
You need to hit a 14.
10. So no. Okay. Gosh, these players are such gluttons for punishment.
No.
Should've
No,
burnt
we're
the
not.
house down to begin
What am I gonna do with you? Besides kill you. All right. So, a vampire spawn is going to attempt to attack Kefris because he seems like a pretty big threat. And you are reckless, so this will be with advantage.
Nice.
Okay. 24.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna roll the second attack as well while I'm here. Ooh. And a 25. Okay. Here comes damage, friend. 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
And 11 slashing damage.
Okay.
All right, and now it is Silme.
Okay.
It's not bad.
I can do a lot here. Silme, did you light a torch?
No, redacted.
I mean, would you have put out your torch when you entered the building?
That's a fire hazard. Yeah, I would have.
Okay. His torch is out.
Okay, so the vampires are on Speedy and Kefris, and this guy's in the middle of the rest of them.
Yes.
Is it an open space where he is?
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
You looking at AoE's wizard?
Do what you gotta do.
I know, but like, okay, she's gonna cast Earth Tremor.
Oh.
So everyone, well, I mean, I really don't. I don't have Fireball.
I mean, not yet.
Not yet.
Oh, fifth is one.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't have any more second
You
level.
get fireball at 5th?
Yeah, it's a 3rd level spell.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So anyways, everyone in that area needs to make a dexterity saving throw. Needs to beat a 13. If they don't make it, they take damage and they're knocked prone. But
Okay.
most importantly, they take 1 damage. But most importantly, the loose stone, it becomes difficult terrain. I would argue, since they're on a wooden floor.
Oh,
It
you
would break.
sneaky wizard. Okay. What is the radius of this spell?
10 feet.
10 feet. And you are targeting it underneath Stetson?
Well, I'm hopefully not gonna get him, but like, where the most of them are, which is kind of where he is.
Okay. All right. I'm on board for this. I'm going to start rolling for vampires, and Stetson, I'd like you to roll as well.
I did.
All right. And what are they supposed to make?
13.
13. All right. Fail. 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 I'm going to say 4 of them are within range of this. And fail! Oh my god!
Woo!
All right, and they all take 1 bludgeoning damage?
But then fall damage? I don't know.
It's supposed to become difficult terrain, yes?
Yeah. So any loose, it's the actual phrasing is they are knocked prone. If the ground in that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until it's cleared. It's an earth tremor, so I assume everything shakes.
Gotcha. All right, so all these vampires, these 4 vampires that I rolled for are all going to be knocked prone. And Stetson, did you make it?
Yes. 16.
Cool. All right, so you there is a tremor that just sort of rocks through the house, and you hear creaking and groaning of wood around you, and all of those vampires just immediately to the floor, and there is a moment of silence, and then there's a little bit more creaking, and then there is just a raucous noise as the floor falls out from underneath you, and you need to roll another dexterity check. We're basically just going to do the same thing again, but with more damage.
In my head, Stetson sees it coming at the last second and leaps up all Matrix style into the air, so it rumbles under him, and then as he lands, it's gonna start cascading.
You just look up and see somebody go.
Exactly. Oh nope! I do not get away.
All right.
They're the dice. I'm looking at Silme and I'm not paying attention, and I go and there's no floor when I land.
There's a creaking sound, and you look down at the floor, and then you turn around, you look at Silme, and then the floor just falls out from underneath you.
All swirling through the air, and then poof, this coat goes up over his head as he wishes to.
Fail. Fail. God damn it. Fail. Oh my god. Worst vampires ever. Okay. Silme, do me a favor. Roll me 2d10.
Woo! Is it fall damage?
Yes.
Isn't that 1d6 for every 10 feet?
Oh, is it not
There's
d10s or
fucking debris falling with them.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue.
Don't kiss a gift horse in the mouth. Don't yell in a gift horse's mouth.
Particularly
Don't yell in a gift horse's mouth.
Particularly nice broken bits of wood.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
9 damage.
Okay. Stetson, take 9 damage, but
Nice.
and you are prone on the second floor.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Conveniently enough, though, Speedy, that floor is the one with all the wood shavings.
Yeah.
It was all
And
planned.
all these vampires have resistance to bludgeoning damage, so they only take half as much.
Ah.
Alrighty. So, wow, that happened.
That was a first level spell.
Okay, so on the first floor, Stetson, you are kind of groaning and picking splinters out of your jacket when you see 2 vampire spawn roll to their feet and descend on you. And they're going to try and attack you. You are prone, and they're doing a melee attack, so this is going to be with advantage. Oh, natural 20.
Oh boy.
Oh, and he was gonna come and rescue him and save the day. And all right, and that
So,
one
GB,
is
thanks for joining us on.
second attack is a 14, does not hit. Here are attacks from the other one. Another 14, and okay, that one will be a 22, so that one will hit. So natural 20. I'm going to roll all the dice for that one. 4, 7, 8, 9, 12, 15 slashing damage on the first one.
Oof.
And here comes some damage for the second one. 5, 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
From those guys. All right, Kefris, you are upstairs. With the floor has just fallen out from underneath the storeroom. That guy that just showed up is gone. And now you have 2 vampire spawn surrounding you.
And Speedy's right on me, though?
Yes, Speedy is right next to you. It's basically 2 vampires facing off with Speedy and Kefris.
Do you have them? And I'll look at
Yes.
Speedy.
That's why I'm shoving you to go.
I extend my hand out to take them. I don't know where they are. I can run faster than you can.
Oh, he flicks his cloak backwards, and you see the pouch for you to grab at.
Yeah, I'll just grab it, disengage, and then just haul ass down the stairs towards the street. I don't know that guy who just showed up. I am in a one-track mind right now, and that's get the fuck out of this house.
All right, you will provoke a attack of opportunity unless you're disengaging.
Disengaging, yeah.
You said disengage. Okay. I cannot hear the word disengage. I see someone run and I'm like, ah!
Pounce.
Okay. Pounce. All right, so Kefris runs downstairs, and as you pass through the building, you can look over your shoulder and you see this guy with the duster surrounded by 4 vampires. And what do you do?
I
keep
don't
going?
know him. Keep going.
All right, Angry Boy keeps going. All right, so that's Kefris. Stetson, you are surrounded by 4 vampires. 2 of them are standing, 2 of them are still prone.
I do like kind of a roll up to my feet, which would be like half my movement.
Mhm.
And then I guess I'll look at how dire the situation is, and then I'll say Tradisium Lux, and I'll grab the holy symbols that are around my neck, like a handful of them, and the spirits sort of come up from the ground, all like they're guarding me, and I cast protection from evil.
Ooh.
So I've got like 4 or 5 tough looking spirits just standing around me. And that's, I guess then I will run. I'll move my other 15 feet if everybody else is out, right?
Right. But you would be provoking attacks of opportunity from two vampires.
That's great because they have disadvantage.
All right, because of
I
protection.
am protected from evil. The spirits block them and knock their hands away.
I'm on board for that. All right, here comes attacks. All right, 10 will not hit. And 11 will not hit. Yeah, those spirits just blocking.
Thank you, fellas.
Blocking the claws of these vampires, and as you start to book it out of this building, you can hear triumphant music playing. I mean, like almost like you're the hero of your own story. But like, but seriously, there's like it's an instrument that you don't recognize. It sounds like a breathless accordion, but if it were made of strings. It's strange, but like this eerie sound just fills your ears, and you know that the spirits are with you.
Am I the only one who can hear it?
You know what? I think that everybody else hears a soft, strange stringed instrument on the wind, but just chalk it up to stress or something.
And I will hum with it as I am exiting the building.
Amazing. All right. Well, those prone vampires are going to stand up and will attempt to pursue you out of the building. And you are going to get a few more attacks on you, but you have protection on you. So these are also at disadvantage. All right. 11 does not hit. How about a 19?
Hits.
One hit. Okay. A 12?
No.
Okay. And a 15?
Hits.
All right. So 3 attacks on you. Does protection from good do anything other than advantage?
I believe that is it. Let me.
All right, here comes damage from the attacks. 9 slashing damage. Five slashing damage. And 6 slashing damage.
And I go down in a lump.
Okay. All right.
Tumbling away.
And those spirits disappear. Okay, Stetson is down. Speedy, it's you.
I'm going to hold my turn. I'm going to wait for Silme to leave, and then I'll run.
Okay. This is a ruling that I made back in Death House, that you and Silme can move on her turn. Your movement action will occur on Silme's turn.
Okay. And as my... Because I want to disengage.
Okay.
But also, you see Speedy put 2 fingers up to his mouth, and he just, like, does that ear-piercing whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna hope it works.
Because Danae is dense, you need to tell me exactly what you're trying to say.
It's the same whistle we use for on the hunts for when we spot a target.
Okay, interesting. You're trying to call in the cavalry?
I'm trying to call in the entire Vallaki hunting guild.
You think that you can just do Ex Machina the shit?
I would hope so.
You think that I don't have the balls to kill a guest on our show?
Well, 1, you do have the balls to kill a guest on the show, but also 2, the dramatic tension of waiting for the cavalry to come.
I see. All right. I'm just saying.
I want to put that out there for you.
Okay, I will recognize that as an option. I'll put that right up on the shelf and I'll look at it and I'll think, oh, what a nice option that is.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to wait until Silme goes?
Yeah, and then if possible, we'll just both disengage out.
All right. I imagine that you are standing in front of the stairs, blocking the stairs so that the vampires cannot pursue Kefris. They're not unable to access Silme, but that also means that you are about to take the full brunt of 2 vampire boys.
Yeah.
Mr. Sir. Oh, that was a natural 1. How about oh god, I can do math, I swear. 14?
Hits.
Okay. Oh boy, you need to get yourself some armor.
If I did, I'd have disadvantage on stealth checks.
Fell out of good that did you. You got the Melriskas with you. 8 slashing damage.
Yep.
I'm filling the time with a lot of out of character banter. I need to get back to just killing you guys. All right, here comes the second vampire. That's a 2 on the die. It's not going to hit you. And that's a 16 on the die, which will hit you. And that will be 6 slashing damage.
Okay.
How are we feeling?
On a scale of 0 to 47, about half.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's fine. All right. Silme, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
How far did our friend get?
I will say that he is in the carpentry room where the old man is now cowering. He basically just about got to the door.
Okay, so if I go downstairs, I am running past him.
You will run. He is between the stairs and the door. You will run right past him.
Perfect. I am going to I'm going to shout, "Stop cowering, you idiot! Get out!" And I'm going to light a torch. Because I don't have any fire spells up right now. And I'm going to light it and throw it and try to grab the man on the ground, whom I don't know who he is, and drag him. But my strength is a -1.
Okay.
So I hope my friend will help me.
Oh, I'm not your friend. I'm your hireling.
I think I'm my friend.
That's where we're at right now, huh? All right. So you...
And I will attempt to try and leave.
So you're trying to take the old man with you.
I'm trying to take the dude I probably got killed.
Gotcha. All right.
Which is a thing.
Oh, so you told the old man to stop cowering and leave, and you're trying to drag out Duster Boy.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I need to clarify these things. Otherwise, people die. All right. Give me an athletics check.
Okay. So I rolled a 3, -1.
Okay.
Can I rip his hat off? Like I tried to grab him, but I just grab his hat.
Yeah, that's essentially what happens. And then you come back to him and continue to try to drag him across the floor, but you are going very slowly. I'm going to say at about 1/4 of your speed. You're still moving.
Good.
Albeit quite slowly.
Cool. I'm gonna die here.
All right.
Cuckoo, save yourself! Cuckoo, save yourself!
You've been on the show for 5 minutes, Jamie. I can't do that.
I appreciate it, but
Plus, Silme doesn't do well with like putting people in danger and then like
abandoning
watching
them.
them die. Okay, this is new.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Can I?
Okay. Talk to me, Speedy.
I want to shoulder check Silme in the gut and drag her away from the man.
Attack me, bitch! I bet you can't hit an 11.
You're like a 20 at best.
Oh, I'm loving this. This is... I have to laugh or I'll cry. Okay.
It's an opposed check, so you get to roll.
Good. I'll roll.
Roll
an
to
act
grapple
20.
Silme. Silme, roll to oppose.
11.
Dirty 20.
All right. You are being dragged by Speedy at this point.
She's just shouting like, "We can't just leave him!"
Watch us.
However, you have not let go of Stetson. So there is a chain of PCs with Speedy at the front. And Speedy, you got a dirty 20?
Yeah.
Okay. You are moving at half speed. Okay.
Cool. Did that take up my action? That took up my action, right?
You already disengaged. This was a freebie.
Yeah, okay.
This was a gift from me to you, buddy.
That's cool.
What happened with the torch?
Oh, hey, I remember the torch now.
Also, we should go on break soon.
I need
That's probably a good idea.
Let's finish out this combat.
Okay.
Okay. All right, because this would be a good cliffhanger to leave off.
Or at
on,
least
but
finish the round of combat and then go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Silme, you dropped a torch into these sawdust shavings and such.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for this because sawdust is very flammable. It just goes up in flame. And those vampire spawn are going to have to roll dexterity checks or else take damage. That seems reasonable to me. Ooh, natural 20. 3 on the die. All right, fail, and fail. All right, well, one boy is just really raring to go, and the other 3 failed. So roll me a d10. 4?
Yes.
4 fire damage for those boys. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know I was unmuted.
All right, so the ones that took fire damage are going to recoil in fear from the flames as their self-preservation instincts kick in. And the one that rolled a nat 20 is going to be a brave bastard and go right for you, Silme. Oh, I know this hits you. 18?
Yep, that definitely hits.
All right, second attack.
Shield spell.
It will not help that.
20.
That definitely hits as well.
All right, here comes some damage.
It goes to 16 on a shield.
7 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then another 7 slashing damage.
down to what, 6, 4?
1?
You have 1. All right. This vampire is just tearing you up.
I
All
will
right.
not get someone killed.
Okay. And now it's Kefris.
So I had thought that I had left the building. I had taken the bones, sprinted down the stairs, and was outie.
Yeah, you are outside the building, but I'm pretty sure you have not been attacked or attacked someone in this
No.
past round. So your rage drops.
Rage lasts
find
for a minute.
It drops if you do not attack or are not attacked for an entire round.
Well, that is some bupkis.
Rage again.
I cannot.
Kefris, suddenly you are standing outside of a building, and you are holding a sack of bones in your hand. Your friends are nowhere to be seen. You look around frantically for them, and you see Speedy struggling to pull 2 people outside of a building, and you can see flames flickering in the windows.
Oh, that's not good. So I'm going to double back and see what Where is my sister? What is Speedy doing?
Speedy...
It's pulling my
Silme is
sister.
Yes, Speedy is pulling your sister. She was holding on to this stranger who came in and, well, I guess you don't remember him.
No.
You can see Silme's lifeless fingers wrapped around the coat of a stranger. And you know enough about her to know that she was trying to rescue him.
I feel like that's in a mood in this campaign. Just
God. How far away? No, that's not going to work.
They are just in the doorway. Literally in the doorway.
And there's a vampire spawn that is also in this doorway.
Yes. One vampire spawn who's just yeah, sure. One vampire spawn who is just right next to your sister.
All right. One is clearly a bad move. This is the best one that I got. So I am going to take my flask of holy water that I have on me. And I am going to splash it at the vampire that is above, that is like right next to my sister.
Okay.
Just splash. It treats it as a ranged attack. So I use my dexterity modifier because I don't think I can throw with my strength.
well, throwing axes throw their strength.
Okay, yeah.
I would like to argue. You can eat it.
Javelins too.
Kobe for precision.
Kobe.
Heat for power.
So, does a 13 hit?
A 13 does not hit.
It just falls short, lands on the dude.
Since you're going to be losing, I mean, yeah, Beans Henrik. That was his name, by the way.
What's his name?
Since you're losing a resource here, I'm willing to throw you another action.
Okay. Well, that clearly didn't work, so I am just going to do a shove attack against the vampire that is right there.
Okay.
Instead of...
That's an athletics check.
Yes, athletics versus its athletics or acrobatics. That's 5.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Well, I've got a 13.
Cool. So I just go up and be like, get away from them!
God. Okay. Stetson, please roll a death saving throw.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. Okay. This determines whether these dice that I got for Stetson are going away forever. Oh, out of the bone circle. Oh, there it is. 16.
16. Well, that's good. All right. Kefris, while you are kind of panicking, not knowing what to do in the light of danger, for the first time being lucid in the middle of a dangerous situation, you see that the glinting of eyes as two vampire spawn crawl down the walls through the stairs, and they look at you for a second and then pounce on the helpless old man in the middle of the room, and he starts screaming as they just start tearing into his flesh. And you are just watching this horrific scene unfold when you feel someone take your shoulder and pull you back. And a man in a red coat with glasses on will pull it open, reach in, pull out a holy symbol. an entire chain of them, of a bunch of different holy symbols. And he says something you don't understand. And all of the vampires recoil as a radiant light just emits from this person. And he grabs Speedy and says, "Run, get out of here now." And he starts pulling Silme and Stetson out of this building, and continues to hold those holy symbols up against the vampire spawn as they recoil and continue to like test the barrier and try to approach him. And I think that you're just kind of standing there watching in disbelief. And he turns around and he says, "I told you to run." And I think that's where we should go to break.
I got the shivers. That was good, and I'm scared, and I hate it, and I love it at the same time.
What is Vash the Stampede doing in Barovia?
All right, so I would like to say thank you to everybody who's stopped by so far. We are going to go on a little break, so that way we can stretch our legs and get some food or some water. Because for you guys, you should go get food, get a drink, grab a friend, come on back. We're going to try and be back shortly, so don't go no place, and we will see you guys soon. All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. From our break, we're leaving the spooky scary house, right? Is that what we're doing? Please say we're leaving spooky scary house.
I don't know, Steven. You're the only conscious one aside from Speedy. You tell me.
I am running so fast to the church.
No, Silme's still up.
She's at 1.
She's at 1? Oh, I thought you were unconscious.
No, I'm at 1.
I made an assumption based on the
Oh.
fact that you were a wizard.
I have to pick. I will pick up Stetson then, because
Okay.
he's on the ground. Speedy's already carrying my sister.
All right. Is this a bridal carry, or is this like a no man left behind across the shoulders?
Oh, this is definitely like I don't know this person at all. So like he is basically a sack of potatoes, and I am just running very quickly right now because there are 6 goddamn vampires behind me in a burning house that a man in glasses just showed up and said, "Run." You best believe I'm running.
Okay.
I
All right.
assume Silme is over the shoulder, right? Like butt next to your face. Speedy? RJ?
Yeah. Sorry, What's up?
Earth to RJ. You guys are running. Kefris and Speedy are running. Speedy has Silme.
Yes,
Kefris has Stetson.
correct.
I'm gonna. Ooh, this mysterious stranger.
Basically just like wrap an arm around Silme's waist and then lift her up and just start running that way.
Okay, where are you running
Yeah,
to?
okay with this.
I was running to the church because that way we can bring the things back.
Let's run to the church.
That
You
was
guys
what
are going
my plan was.
Straight to the church. All right.
I don't want
So
to
you
have
go-
these bones on me.
You go running down the cobbles, and it will take you guys a good. This is like Vallaki is a long city, and you guys are basically on the far eastern side, and the church is pretty close to the far western side. And the whole thing is about a mile in total from gate to gate. It's a very long, wide city. It's not very tall, but it's wide. So
It's
I
Manhattan.
say you guys have to run about half a mile to get to the church. So you're fairly winded once you get there. Actually, go ahead and roll Constitution checks. Constitution saves, maybe.
16.
On a con check, that is a 14. On a con save, that's a 16.
Excellent. All right. Both of you are shapely boys, so you are able to rush over there, but though maybe not as quickly as if you were not carrying a couple of people. So yes, you make it to the church, which still has like a few lights in the windows, just in case, you know, somebody has a nightmare and wants to go and sleep with Dad. So let's forget that I ever said that.
Nope. It's in there forever.
Oh God.
Seriously,
click
we're
this.
taking Strahd seriously.
And so you come bursting through the doors, and a few people will like kind of jump in response to that. What do you do?
I am going to quickly scan around for. Well, first I'm going to set Stetson down on the ground inside of the temple because, boy, he is making my shoulder sore. I don't need to carry him. I don't need to continue. We are in, I assume, a safe place.
Okay.
And then I'm going to scan around and look for the father.
When you put him down, you get your first good look at him. And he's wearing a black duster. He seems like a fairly young man, but he's got like, he looks like he's been aged beyond his years. He's got white hair. And so while his face is fresh, he kind of has the expression of a man that's much older than him. And like, he also has like that chain of holy symbols, just like a line of them, a bunch of different gods and things that are just kind of hanging out of his shirt. You look around for Father Petrovich. Yes, Father
Yes.
Lucian, that's his name. Well, he has since gone to bed because it's actually fairly late. But having heard the door get busted open, he will scramble out, and you can see him wearing his nighties. He's got like a floppy hat on, and he's all like, well, what in the Sam Hale is going on here?
Bible study, now. I just push him into his room and shut the door.
Gently but unceremoniously, I'm gonna plop Silme down and then start shoving the doors closed.
Okay.
Silme falls.
Yep. And Silme is still conscious. So she was conscious the entire time, getting just carted through the city.
She just didn't say anything. She's gonna crawl over to the gentleman who tried to save them, and she's gonna try and get him on the mend.
All right, give me a medicine check.
I'm not good at these.
It's an intelligence-based score.
It's
I
wisdom.
think. Wisdom?
Medicine
Is
int.
wisdom?
Yeah.
How is it that
Oh, shit.
nature and pretty much every other wisdom-based score from previous editions are all intelligence now?
Because for medicine, you have to cut up a lot of bodies to learn.
13.
I don't know.
Okay.
13.
You are able to rouse him. And Stetson, you awaken to this woman who is, I mean, I guess she looks okay, or, you know. She has long blonde curly hair.
She doesn't
and-
look blue, so that's a real improvement from the standard Barovian.
Yeah, that's true.
Blush on.
Yep.
Okay.
And you recognize her as a fellow outsider. And yeah, she seems to have just roused you and maybe even saved you.
Yeah. Oh, hello there. Thank you.
Are you all right?
And I look over at you, and I would ask you the same. Did you pull me here?
No, not directly, but kind of. You're in a church now. You're safe. She's kind of speaking louder than she should be.
Yeah. And there are a few nervous bystanders who are kind of like starting to peek around walls and over pews at these people who just kind of disrupted the harmony of this church. Meanwhile, Kefris, you have just shoved Father Lucian into his room. Bible study now!
And I
What do you
will
tell?
pull the sack off my hip and just press it into his chest and say, "There. Now can you put these back?"
He grabs it and kind of like pulls it open and then shuts it again. He's like, "Yeah, those are them." And he will shove past you and just kind of like scoot through and like look kind of like self-conscious about all the people staring at him as he rushes over to the altar. He's kind of trying to do like that power walk, where it's like this is urgent, but don't worry about it, it's fine. And you see him pull a crowbar out from under the altar and try and pry up the stone underneath it, and he seems to be having some trouble there.
I will assist, as I am a strong boy.
All right. With your help, it comes up effortlessly. Like he's like, "Hurr!" And then you come over and like with one hand, just, and it's up, and he like will reach into the bag and like take one bone out and kind of place it in there really respectfully, and then he'll shrug and just dump the whole bag in there and pull that stone back into place, and he will stand up and kind of like pull out his holy symbol, and he like sits there for a second and it looks like he has to kind of like think to remember the words, and then he says a quick prayer, and you see his holy symbol glow and the altar glow, and then just like there is a wave, a ripple that goes through the entire building, and it goes down through the floor and over people's feet and up the walls and all the way up and over the bell tower. And there's just a golden light that seems to envelop this place, and you are now standing on holy ground.
I will cross my arms in front of me and say a prayer to Ilmater as just thanks for this. This is a win.
Ooh, that is a relief.
Where is Irina? Or where is Marie?
She's still in her room, I believe. She's it's rather late. She probably went to sleep.
I'm going to go check on her if that's all right.
Yeah. That's probably not a bad idea. You can go ahead.
So
I'm gonna stay here for a second and
That sounds like a really good plan.
Yep.
It was your gravedigger.
What?
It was your gravedigger.
No, not Milajov. Oh, that boy. And he just kind of like puts his hand up over his face, and like for a moment he like his defeatist attitude is just completely visible for everyone to see, and he kind of glances up and he sees a small girl who's looking at him from the pews, and she seems scared, and he drops that attitude and just kind of gives her a warm smile, and he looks at you and says, "Thank you for everything you've done.
The people are safe now. That's thanks enough."
And he puts a hand on your shoulder and gives you that warm smile. And this is the most genuine expression you've ever seen on his face.
It's about time. Good.
So while that's going on, Speedy's gone to Maria's room and peeked in.
She's asleep. And Myrtle is in bed with her. But as you open the door and a light falls across the bed, you see Myrtle's head turn, and she just stares at you. It's as though she weren't asleep at all. She was just lying in bed with her eyes open.
Speedy steps in quietly, closes the door behind him, takes the doll that he picked up and like tucks it into Myrtle's arms, ruffles her hair, and then just like plops next to his dog.
Oh, that's adorable. Okay, so Kefris, you wanted to go and check on Maria?
If if Speedy goes in and there isn't an immediate closes the door, turns around with a look of worry in his eye, like, oh no, we've totally fucked this, I am fine with that.
I think that when like Speedy was being quiet until he plopped down with his dog, Irina kind of wakes with a start, and she points a crossbow at the doorway, and Kefris is standing there.
It's okay. It's okay.
And like Irina's hair is kind of like off to the side, just like up like serious bedhead, and she blinks at you kind of blearily for a second, and then like rubs her eyes and says, Kefris, is that you?
We were just making a check to see if everything was fine. And I clearly, like, my clothes are ripped. I have puncture marks in my neck that I'm pretty sure did not get cleared out at all. I look pretty messed up, but
on the floor.
Speedy's on the floor, just making sure everything is right as rain.
Yeah, if she sees that, she definitely is going to like crawl out of bed and be like, "You're injured. You've been. What happened to you?"
I'd rather sleep on it and then talk about it when I'm ready, because right now there was a lot.
She reaches up and kind of like moves your hair out of the bite mark on your neck, and she's like, I know a vampire bites when I see one.
It was one of the small ones. Is that going to be an issue?
No, they have to kill you for it to work.
Well, here I stand. Still warm, still breathing.
For now.
I plan
Maybe
on
you should have stayed in the church.
Maybe. But now we can all stay in the church and feel better about it.
She's gonna turn around and walk back to the bed and kind of tuck Myrtle in. And she's going to say, in the woods, I don't remember much of what happened. But I remember you put a hand on me. And I did not go to her.
I don't remember what I did while I was in the woods. But if I stopped you from doing that much, then that's a win in my book.
I think what you did was save my life.
You would have done the same for me, I would hope.
And she kind of gives you a wry smile. And then she looks over into the corner where Speedy is lying down with Tyr, the dog. And she's like, how long have you been there?
We just got back. He's fine. Seeing family wore him out a little bit.
I suppose so. I can understand that. You should get some sleep. You look terrible.
I need to check on my sister. And I need to check on the mystery man that we found along the way. And then once that's done, I'll get some sleep. But you rest.
Sounds like you've had a long night.
It's only just begun, it seems like. And then, good night, Irina. Or
good night, Kefris.
Maria. Sorry. And he just closes the door again.
And she just quirks an eyebrow and kind of like is shaking her head and laughing to herself as you leave.
Then I turn around and I just look at Silme and Stranger Man.
Yep, Stranger Man seems to be awake now.
Oh, do you have my hat? He says to Silme.
Oh, yes. She like removes it from the grip that she's just been holding.
he takes it. He's
White knuckles.
Yeah.
then he sets it down, and then he begins to like immediately like lift your hair, look at your neck, start checking your wounds.
Oh, please, please. Manners, please. I know we are in a strange land.
Oh, I am very sorry.
I am betrothed.
I can fix your wounds.
Well, that's very nice. But perhaps my brother, he was
I'm fine.
Ooh.
It's right behind you.
But
You first.
Peppers, you were.
I talked to our trusted expert on the matter, and she has assured me that I am in the clear.
Oh, you were bitten. And he stands and he starts getting in your personal space.
Okay,
looking at it.
boundaries. We can't share the same space. You have to be at least 5 foot between the two of us, okay?
Sad for not too. You should get at some. And he reaches in and he pulls out a vial and he's like, we should put this and then some holy water, and you need to cleanse that.
I'll do a ritual on it. I'm fine. I'm sorry. I'm Kefris. Who are you?
Oh, yes, Silme.
What were you doing face down in that place?
He suddenly the vials just kind of disappear into coats and pockets or whatever, and
were you being held hostage there?
The spirits, and you notice the whole time he never quite looks you in the eyes, either of you. He's always like at your forehead or your cheek or your nose, and then he says, "The spirits led me to you, and then I could feel the vampire, and so I came to help."
He came in
Your name.
Oh, pardon me. 9 charisma, by the way. That's why I'm playing it that way.
Totally fine. Kefris is still insistent. What is your name, sir?
And he tacks his heels together and he bows and he says, "My name is Stetson von Andrell. I am the hunter."
It's nice to know you and then to meet you in that order. Thank you for helping. You said you had... It happened again, didn't it? And I'll just look at Silme. I was on the street outside.
We couldn't hear you, LB.
No.
Oh, sorry. Let me get closer to my microphone. Yes, I think it's something we should discuss, and since we're not going anywhere tonight...
Hopefully. Speedy's already asleep. Maria's asleep. I don't know about that child that we picked up. She hasn't said a
weird one.
What? Yes. Not freak. We just sent him home.
She's not a freak.
No,
She's
I was
just
meaning the
odd.
boy named Freak.
Oh, yes, of course.
That
sorry.
was his actual name.
I remember now.
We should talk about this. So wait,
Sorry,
hold up.
Stetson.
Yeah, Stetson, you said you were a vampire hunter. Or a...
Yes, amongst other things. Werewolves and creatures that bump in the night.
It seems like there's quite a business for that in, well, around here.
Are you from here?
No, my people lives on the border of Barovia, and then they lived no more. I am the last.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
They are still with me. And you see him like looking to the sides, like he's seeing people standing there. But some music had led me to you. That was new. I had not heard him before.
Sorry, music?
Yes.
What?
I don't follow.
And he starts to hum the tune that he was humming as he was trying to get away.
Do we recognize this?
It's strangely familiar.
Can I make a history check to possibly hone in on that?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, as he's humming, it's weird because like it's coming from a stranger's lips, but like it's as though
9.
it's something that a dear friend once sung to you before. But
Sounds like something I heard.
you can't quite place where it's coming from.
Seems like something I heard recently.
Me too.
Are you staying here tonight?
Oh, indeed. Is your brother now going to take care of these wounds? I do not. I can't focus with you. With
Right. Yes.
If you can, help my sister.
Okay. I will have to place my hand close to you.
She offers her hand.
Okay. Close to your wounds.
Oh, right. Don't get fresh now.
No, I would never think of it. And yeah, he puts his hand close, and his hand starts to shake, and it's almost like white vapor comes off of him.
Ooh.
and you can see he gets a little more gaunt and such, and as he's shaking like that, he just kind of but you get some hit points back.
Woo!
Cure wounds is a d8 plus what nowadays?
Wisdom.
Okay.
Wisdom.
Boom. All right. Oh, woo! 8, 10 total.
Woo! Thank you. Now I'm. Oh, geez. I hit the wrong button.
Significant for a wizard.
Yeah.
And she's dead.
I know.
I can do that twice now.
Kefris?
I'm fine.
Do you need healing?
You need healing. Why don't you use the rest on yourself, and we will, we need to have a discussion and find a place to sleep for tonight.
Thank you again, Stetson.
You dragged me from the jaws of death. The least I can do.
Did you? They both just kind of nod.
Sup's cool.
Yeah.
Not the like head check, like yeah,
Right.
but more of a just like very solemnly nod.
Two pious antisocial people.
Like gym rats.
Yeah.
Like the, hey, I'm not going to touch you, but I want to acknowledge your existence.
Yeah. So I guess we'll try and find a spot to maybe rest.
Yeah, I think that Yeska actually wakes up and helps you guys find a nice bed. Particularly after you guys got the frickin' bones back. That was oh my gosh, you guys, that was really cool. Yeah, you remember Yeska?
Mm-hmm.
So he sets you guys up with a nice bed. Each one of you a nice bed, except for you, Stetson. He doesn't know who you are. You get a pew.
Thank you, Pro Restarter.
Great.
Woo!
Thanks, bro.
I'll even put my hat back on.
Hey,
Yes.
no, just continue. I had a thought that I'll bring up later on.
Okay. You are not allowed to forget.
Write it down.
Write it
Oh,
down.
I know what it is. It's a question that I think everyone should be asking right now.
Oh, okay. Great. Good.
Excellent.
All right, so you guys get some sleep. Go ahead and have a long rest.
Yes.
Wait, we need to have a discussion.
Oh, sorry. Okay, fine. Let's prolong this more. Let's have a discussion. This is the longest goddamn day.
I'm sorry.
It is
It's like in the
been
morning.
a
The
very
It's
day-
fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's
It's
been a
fine. You're the
very
one
long
with
day.
spell slots to refill.
So this whole, you know, blacking out and going all feral thing. Well, I'm looking into it. Well, I'm not looking into it. Maybelle's looking into it currently. I'm
What?
doing a bit of research.
What do you mean Maybelle's looking into it?
Well, I mean, we have to figure out something. I mean,
Oh.
we don't know what's going on with you.
Well, how? Does she have a book that's just random shit that's going to happen to Kefris and she turns to chapter 5?
How is not important, Kefris. It is what. And in this moment, we need to figure out what is going on with you.
What is going on with me is important.
Like your hands?
You've been keeping magic usage from me for too long for me to just let you and Maybelle now do as you wish without you telling me.
One
How?
problem at a time.
We-
What?
Does she have contacts here that we could call on?
No, of course she doesn't.
Then how is she researching this? We don't know anything about this town. The last place that we went to that had a library, they took all the books out and they used it to make a fire because people are cold. There's no sunlight here.
She can travel. Okay? She can travel off of this plane of existence. Alright?
Why hasn't she taken us with her?
She can't do that!
Why not?
Because that's not how magic works, Kefris! Yes?
Who is it?
You are keeping the children awake.
We are having... I'll open the door. We are having a private discussion right now.
A very loud one.
But still private! And I will shut the door. I'll just start
If you look at-
pulling the Ilmateri cords on my arms as I have shut the door and turned around.
There's still two shadow feet standing there.
I don't know what's happening to me. But it seems like there's a lot about this place that I don't know about. We came here through the mist. It's possible that that did something to me. Or something else. It's like Speedy said, I got bit by those wolves when we first showed up. Maybe it had something to do with that. The fact of the matter is, I don't know, and it terrifies me. You think I want to just lose minutes at a time and wake up covered in blood and see you injured? Not have any way of knowing if I actually protected you.
Of course you did. The only reason you started doing this blackout thing is because I was in danger.
Maybe it's a better thing.
Maybe if it's something you can control, it'd be better, but I don't know who you are when you are like that. And I don't know if it's making this, and she points to your hands, worse.
I don't either. But in this place, with what we've been given, I will always protect you, regardless of how terrible this makes me.
I don't think it's making you terrible, Kefris. And she grabs his hands. I think it's just enhancing your id, your primal part of you that wants to protect.
And I do. It's what I'm here for, right? That's why Mother brought me back and sent us on that carriage north, was to be your protector.
Right. Gosh. Feels like months ago.
I don't think I've said this enough, but I love you, sister. We've been here for too long. We've been here for, like you said, it seemed like months. We've been attacked by wolves. We've been attacked by vampires. There was a giant mass underneath a house that had a ghost in it after we had been eaten alive by wolves. And it happened almost again today. And I don't want to keep getting so close to my own mortality without letting you know.
Of course I know, Kefris. You know that I love you too, and I'm so happy that if I have to go through these trials and this hell, that you are here with me.
Oh my god.
What?
Maybelle is still at the bar.
She's not.
That makes things easy. If you do find out what is happening to me, hopefully it's not permanent.
Nothing's ever permanent. She gives a reassuring smile that she's trying to do for herself and for you.
See through it. See through it, but I understand it's coming from a good place.
And she starts to like tear and like kind of those like emotional, not sad but not happy tears, and she just like throws herself around his neck and squeezes him.
Excuse, please. It probably has to do with your god.
Just go up, throw open the door. Do you just want to come in? Would that be easier for you?
Very much so. Thank you. And
By all means, sir.
He steps in and he reaches in and grabs a piece of parchment and
Shuts
starts
the door.
Starts looking at your hands and drawing.
I'm going to go to bed now, Kefris.
Good night, sister.
Schnitzel? And she like bows at him and goes to the door.
So it's a good night. Guten Nacht.
But this is your room.
Not anymore, it's not.
Kefris, you also have been taking notes on your situation, so if you want to corroborate with him, that is definitely a thing you could do. Unless you are ticked off enough that you don't think to do that.
I am just standing there like I am getting fitted for a new robe. I have separated my feet out enough. I have my arms stretched out so that way you can get a good wingspan on me.
Oh my god.
And I already had kind of more of a frown on my face when I was hugging, like, more of a stormy expression when I was hugging Silme. And it is just like, now you're bringing my god into this?
I have been here a while. I am telling you.
And you chose to come here.
Yes. The monsters need to be destroyed.
If he's trapped here and you're out there, Why does it matter?
Because
Strap, that's good enough, isn't it?
No, there are children here. This morning, a man threw a little girl into the lake in a bag. I killed him and saved the girl.
I'm sorry. You know what?
And he's looking at you
I've
like,
heard this
I cannot
saying.
believe the words coming out of your mouth either.
I have been in this place well enough to know that regardless of what I say in response, you're just going to say, "Welcome to Barovia," as if that gives you an excuse to just murder people. I do admit, throwing a child into a lake, bad, but did he need to die?
So, I was hoping that I would kill him and he would drop the girl into the boat, not into the lake.
That doesn't... No, that's not answering the first question of it is bad to kill people.
So there are people who need to die. You will learn this here. I'm sorry. In my village, before it was devoured by one of these monsters, we turned people away. We tried to keep them from the mists. But now, shut up! He looks behind him, and he's like, now they follow me everywhere.
Who follows you?
My whole village. They constantly remind me to keep going, to keep killing the monsters. They give me strength. And with that, he slowly puts a hand to your face, and he looks over his glasses at you.
And I will just make eye contact back.
And the haunted one thing, just like, bam, you can tell I have seen and killed and done what is needed to be done to keep people safe.
Hey, Greybeard, guess what? We're both haunted ones. So you're getting the same sense
that's
back.
Awesome.
There's
Okay.
like a
You guys have a haunted bro moment. A haunted broment.
Is it that moment in Ghost where they're making the pottery?
But there's more blood and it's a lot sadder.
Yeah, exactly. The music is much more operatic, I would imagine. That's awesome. I did not know you were a haunted one.
Yes.
Cool. Yay. So I'm like, I see you know what I mean. So please just do what you can do until you are gone, until you can leave.
Regardless of what happens, I will never let my family, my friends, meet the same fate as those that you knew.
See, that is a good start.
That's all I can do. It's the gecko hands, just this. Whatever else may come with this.
You will see. It is a gift. Here, it is a gift. Trust me. And,
Is this what... We made a friend along the way here, and they said that Barovia was really agreeing with me. Is this what they meant?
do I know that? Would I assume that, Danae?
That Barovia. Well, I mean, you don't know this person,
Right,
so you
right.
don't know exactly what they meant. But that could be what it is.
Okay. All right. It might be. We will keep notes. We will help.
I have been taking notes.
He actually gasps. So, yes.
I'll then spend the early parts of the evening just exchanging notes with Stetson.
Awesome. Okay.
It is not an early part of the evening.
No! The early part of Kepris' meeting. This is the late night pot of coffee.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, so the two of you kind of burn the midnight oil, and you're able to take a few more notes and exchange a little bit more information. And well, I guess Stetson, go ahead and roll another religion check.
Okay.
And Kefris, I'm going to assume that you are assisting here.
Yeah.
So you could do it with advantage.
Oh, awesome. Okay. 18.
Okay. I want each of you to ask me a question about Kefris's condition, and I will answer it honestly.
I heard him say if it will be permanent, and I guess that's what I will try to calculate in my head.
You cannot be certain. You're pretty sure that so long as he's in Barovia, these effects will take place. You do not know what would happen if he left Barovia.
So when we leave the mists, I cannot say.
Any questions, Kefris?
Does it look like there will eventually be a time where he feel like, does he feel like this is religious based? Like, does he feel like this is like Ilmater is the god of suffering? Mm-hmm. So is this like some weird Job style scenario where it's like, I'm gonna punish you to see how well you believe in me? Or if this is something else, like if this seems more like a curse versus like a weird blessing, I guess.
Uno los dos. I think that your instincts tell you that this is very much within Ilmater's wheelhouse, but it seems to have been affected. It's been corrupted somehow. That like maybe this would have manifested in a different way had you never entered Barovia.
See, I told you.
Thank you, Stetson.
You take the advantages you got here. I am not a big man, so I learned to duck.
And I am a big man. Well, I suppose from what I've been told, I do get bigger, but...
Like the lupin, you just use your strengths when they come to you. To keep those you love safe. Yes, he already said that. Hi, sometimes they make me crazy. Oh.
Sometimes. And I think that this conversation goes on for a little bit longer until the two of you realize that you really need to get to sleep if you're going to be waking up at any sort of decent time tomorrow.
Yeah. Do my max hit points come back?
GM says it's bedtime. Does it? Oh, I'll check. Go ahead and...
Be cooler if it did.
Go ahead and have a long rest, and I will double check and make sure.
I got all my rage. I was out of rages.
Yes, it does come back on a long after the completion of a long rest.
Yes.
Thank God.
Thank goodness. All right. So,
praise be to Ilmater. We're not done yet.
Praise Ilmater.
So you finally have a rest after a very, very long day. This is the same day since the last time you had slept was in the Vistani camp after having received your reading from Madame Ava. And so when you do go to sleep, you are out, and you have deep, deep dreamless sleep, until you awaken to the sound of people sort of shuffling around and murmured prayers in the church. There is a soft light coming in from the window, not very bright because, well, there's just not a lot of bright light in Barovia. And Speedy, you wake up on the floor with your dog beside you. And it seems that Irina has been awake for a little bit, and she seems to be getting ready for her day. And she's kind of like giving a questioning look at the doll that Myrtle is holding, just sort of like a little unsettled by its appearance and kind of wondering where it came from. And she's just sort of staring at that doll when you open your eyes, and that's the image you see.
He rubs his eyes and just says, "Good morning, Tatiana."
And her head snaps and she stares at you, and she gives you a very concerned expression. And she says very seriously, "Never, ever call me that." And she will leave the room. And that is where we will leave off for today.
Oh boy! First off, I would like to say Staghorn and Jeremy1930, thank you both for the follow.
GB, do thing.
GB, would you like to do the thing?
Oh, love to do this thing. So, if I'm on the show and somebody follows, I take this maul and I hit that guy in the face. And there were two of you.
There was two. Yes. Thank you, Greybeard. That was a 30. It was an 80, 1980. I'm sorry to the 50 years younger Jeremy. So I would like to say, first and foremost, thank you, Danae, for running this incredible game. This was spooky and ooky, and I loved it. It was fantastic. And where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh my God, I'm going first. I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do drawings, mostly related to D&D and sometimes with doodles from stuff from this channel. I'm also Coriander, the Elegant Paladin, on Mondays, and I run Curse of Strahd on Tuesdays. That's where you can find me, DanaeKeener.com.
All right, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm going second. Hey, everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life. You could also catch me on the Monday game as Calum, the Shatterkai Cleric, and here as Speedy, as part of the Barovian entourage of these knuckleheads as we traipse around Vallaki. You can also catch me on Sunday at Pro Restarters channel at 8 p.m. EST as another hunter, G3, the Inquisitive Robo with a bow.
Excellent. Greybeard, where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and well, you know, I like props just a little bit. And check the Twitter in a little while, and you'll see my very first shot at my new crossbow target in my basement. And just for kicks, let's do it again with my hand crossbow.
The fact that you just have these lying around.
Well, this character has a hand crossbow, so I can't have, you know, the other medieval crossbow. Not to be ever confused with, you know,
There he goes.
Daryl from The Walking Dead.
God!
So, you know, let's keep it straight here.
I just want to say that leading up to this game, Greybeard was sending me pictures of a crudely drawn vampire with crossbow bolts sticking out of it,
Nice.
and I felt very threatened.
So, yeah, and one more prop that we didn't get to see tonight, but it is my sword. If you're a Patreon, I will talk about this sword. It actually has history. So that'll be on the after show. But I'm Greybeard of Greybeard's Tavern, and you can catch me on Wednesday nights as KB, who is a war-forged gunslinger in Ghost of Saltmarsh. And on Friday, June 7th, we'll be back to be doing over on Jackal and Hare, I play a SWAT team member in 2037, where we are trying to keep Miami from falling to the mafia in the future. And then Sunday mornings, come check me out here on my channel, where, you know, sometimes I wear armor, but mostly I play with big toys and I play Darkest Dungeon, and you can all be characters, and it's awesome, and we have a lot of fun. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We play at least until noon, and hope to see you guys then. Oh, and Encounter Roleplay. We didn't play this week, so it slipped my mind. Encounter Roleplay at 5 p.m. on Sundays. I then am yet another gun nut. I'm a gun lugger in Apocalypse World, and we have a good time. And I'm there with another cast member here who will tell you about it herself. All right, that's me.
All right, LB, tell us about it.
All right, rapid fire. Mondays, indoor adventure, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Gwen the Halfling Barbarian. Tuesdays, I play Silme. You know this. You're here. Wednesdays, Damn Barry's channel. I play a Oyantu, the Triton Druid. And Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I play on Encounter Roleplay's channel as a Hocus on the what's the world? Apocalypse World. Apocalypse World. And then at 8 p.m. I play a mad character in the Cypher World on Pro Restarter's channel.
You did it, kid. And if you have made it this far, you probably already know who I am, but if you don't, hello. What's up, fella? It's me, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer. I am the showrunner here at Indoor Adventures. You can find us either on twitch.tv, or you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures, or if you don't want to dedicate yourself to a visual medium, we are also on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Overcast, all of the other audio cast listening platforms, so you can carry us around in your pocket and listen to us while you are at work, which is what I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The days that we have all of our games, because you can find us here on those days at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got our homebrew game on Mondays, Curse of Strahd on Tuesdays. Tomorrow, our dear friend and fan of the show, Archangelic, is going to be running Adventure Skeletons for us, which myself, Danae, our dear friend PB from PB Plays Inside, and Bullocks and Jen, our dear friend Laughmaker D&D, are all going to be playing as skeletons. I will be a goblin skeleton named Chongus, so I am very excited to be him. And then starting on Thursday, we got Ghosts of Salt Martian, because guys, I got my book from the brick and mortar store, and I am so excited for this. It looks really good. That is going to be with Where's My Dingus, Cyberwolf1201, Kyle with an N, and my dear friend Reevesbot. They are all very neato people, and you should go and support them as well. But right now, we are going to be going into our after show, which you can find at patreon.com/indooradventures. As consistent branding is a cool thing to have, which we only recently got like 2 months ago. So you can come and find us there. And that is where we are going to go into our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from you guys, but also from each other. And then that usually goes about 30 minutes, and then you can just wait until the next day when there will be yet another Nights in the Courtyard, as we have somehow structured it so there is new content coming out for you every day of the week. So welcome to Indoor Adventures, and we will see you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye! I didn't hit the transition!